こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、クリスタルパレスの鎌田大地に関する動画です。クリスタルパレスは、プレミアリーグ第6節で、5連勝無敗中だったリバプールをホームに迎え、試合最後のプレーでエヌケティアがゴールを挙げ、2対1の劇的な勝利を挙げました。この試合では、明らかにクリスタルパレスへの称賛が止まらず、逆にリバプールには厳しい評価がされているようです。試合後のプレスカンファレンスでは、オリバー・グラスナーに、この劇的な大きな勝利や、18戦無敗の記録、そして試合のパフォーマンスについて質問をされています。質問をされていなくても、鎌田大地や他のプレーヤーも良かったと付け加えながら、選手それぞれが称賛されるにふさわしいと話しています。チームの戦い方や、メンタリティ、ただ守備的な戦術でもないこと、ロングスローに対する考えなど、盛りだくさんで話していますので、実際にどのように話しているのか、チェックしてみましょ
う。Well, a great win for Palace. I was just going to ask, do you think that's the best Palace have ever played on the year since you've been at the club in the first half anyway?
Yeah, first half was really great to watch for everyone. I think it was the best half since we arrived, and it was just the result. It was just leading by one goal, and then when you play the champion, you always know they can strike back, especially when you see the last games, they always scored late goals, and to be fair, second half was such immense pressure, and we were lucky in a few times with Dean Henderson in 1-2 situations. And what makes me really proud today is then we conceded the equalizer, 90th minute. And then very often the momentum changes and you lose a game. And we kept the heads up, played forward, and turned the momentum again. And we got the winner, the game winner. And then it really makes me really proud of the group. And also when I see Will Hughes wins the first header, Jeff Lerma the second, and Eddie scores the goal, 3 players who came on. And that's why it was such a team effort today, and that's why we could win. So I'm really proud and delighted about the performance and of course about the win.
And Palace are now the only unbeaten side in the Premier League. What kind of achievement is that against some of the clubs that you're up against?
We're still in September, so nothing said to train before. It's last year maybe we were the only team who didn't have a win at this stage of the Premier League. It ended with the points record and winning the FA Cup. That's why we're always humble. So we take this positivity and these positive feelings and emotions that helps us to recover quicker, and it helps us in the daily work. But we will always talk about our game, and we have many positive clips we can show the players, especially from first half and the mentality again. But we also have things we can still improve. Yeah, yes, it's great to win. It's great to win against the champion, but in 5 days we play against Kiev. So in the next 2 days, players come in tomorrow, do recovery. I think the win helps us to recover mentally. The legs get the treatment today and tomorrow. Monday they will have off, and Tuesday we will start and push the team to win against Kiev.
In terms of bringing on Eddie, and having 2 strikes at the end, can you explain your thinking that to sort of stretch the play a bit, because you were quite in your own half in the second half?
Yes, we're always making subs more position-wise, and especially it's just when we are under pressure. I wanted to bring on a striker, because then we can. It just makes no sense if you bring on more and more defenders, you get more and more pressure. So you have to play in Liverpool's half to get released from their pressure and not in their own box. And we could see it when they had 5-6 players in the box. They crossed from everywhere, and this is also how their goal happened. So this is always in our thoughts, and also my assistants had great idea. Today, how we made the subs, and then we could bring the game forward again.
And just to be unbeaten for 18 games, an amazing achievement. Can you kind of reflect on what's gone into that?
I hope we'll continue. I talked about it before. It was real, and I told it to the players. Because sometimes then, as soon as you have in your head, we want to stay unbeaten, you want to defend something, and defending something is always passive for me, yeah? But we want to win something, so the approach is to win the game. And we don't know if we're doing it every time, but I don't want that we say, just stay unbeaten. No. Go for the win. If it's a draw, we take the draw. If it's lose, we have to accept to lose, but the approach is go out and try to win the game.
Hi Oliver, another fantastic performance from your team. Could you talk a little bit about your emotions at the end and your assessment on your captain's performance? I think he was excellent today, and obviously for well-known reasons in the spotlight, and then he even gave the assist at the end.
Yes, it's the emotions. I told the players last time when we won on penalties, I'm now over 50. They should look after my heart, make it a little bit easier to relax a little bit earlier. And then on the other side, this is why we love football, having this at the end and then in front of our fans, in front of the stand. It was just so great. And then I wanted to run to the players. But after 5 yards, I stopped because I remembered I conceded a yellow card once. And I always, then I have to pay something for the team. And this is... Then my wife gets upset with me, and then so it was the better way. And I mentioned in the press conference before the game, this was exactly what I expected from Mark. It's exactly what I knew Mark will show, because he shows it every game, he shows it every training, how good he is, what fantastic person he is. It's even more important than how good he is as a player, and he's so focused on his game. He's so focused on our game that there were no thoughts about everything else. So again, just shows how fantastic and how great Mark is.
I was going to ask about Mark, but in terms of other performers on the pitch, Adam Morton. I know he only played 60 minutes, but the energy that he had all around, he just keeps getting better and better.
Oh, yes, you can ask me now about almost every single player, because I think Daiji Kamada played an excellent game. Ismail Azari was now out for 3 weeks, had 1 week of training. He was so threatening them with their runs. T. Mitchell, what a game, how he defended Mo Salah and always being there and having... We could have 3 assists today, T. Yeah, and yes, Adam is the same. I thought he gets a little bit fatigued in the second half. I think he lost too many second balls at that stage of the game, but he also was injured, and we have a very tight schedule, so that was the reason. But we know what we have with Adam. That's why I started Adam and Daiji today. The other side, Will Hughes and Jeff Lerma had deserved to start because they also played so well and they showed it then. Yeah, so it's good to have all these options now. And Adam is just a fantastic player. He's at the beginning of his career. We hope that we had a very unlucky last year with his injuries, and so we want to keep him fit. We have to manage him in the best possible way, and then he will have a great career, definitely.
Robin? Hope you are. Palace of 2 years ago at 1-1 would have probably camped in the half and just tried to see the game out. It feels like there's been a massive culture change under your directive at the club. Is it something you've had to get across to the players that every game, even in stoppage time against the champions, is there to win?
Yes, this is what we are telling them since we arrived, and it's just what I experienced. I can just tell the players what's important for me and how is my character, and when I played many games and then sometimes and when we had these situations and then we got passive and then we got punished, and the next day I always thought, come on, why we didn't play forward, why we were waiting. I told you, you don't say this in English, but like the rabbit in front of the snake. You don't have this in England, yeah? We say in Germany, you know what the rabbit is doing when there's the snake there? It just doesn't move and hopes the snake doesn't see it, but it always gets eaten. Yeah? And that's where I really experienced this in 500 games sometimes. And then really Sunday I always thought, and I hated myself for this. And then when I became a manager, I always thought, no, I don't want that the players experience this. Okay, we play forward. If we lose, but we always have this identity that we try to score a goal. And I think everybody would also say that we are very, very, with a lot of focus on our defense, yeah? But in the defense we always want to prepare our attack. And this is never just defend to defend. Of course, we have to defend sometimes. We have to defend a lot inside the box. But when it's possible to play forward, let's play forward. And this is just our culture. This is our identity, and this is what we, I think, players really like.
Just on Eddie as well, back early from injury, good performance at West Ham, massive goal today. His confidence must be brimming at the moment.
Yes, hopefully, and it's good to have him back. And yeah, he also at the end of last season, he already showed that he can score many goals. He scored 2 against Wolves here in our last home game, and also the West Ham game. He got he was fouled last year when he had the penalty at the end. And yeah, it's good. He's so ambitious and he's working so hard, and I think he got the reward today. And it's also one of our slogans: is if you invest, you get something back. As it's one of my credos in my life. Told it I think once or twice. And if you invest in your family, you get it back, and in your job, if you invest, you get it back. And that is investing so much. And today he got the reward. Getting the game winner in front of our fans, being celebrated. So yeah, well done, Eddie.
And do you take pride in equaling the club record of 18 games unbeaten, or is it purely just focus on the next game and beat the record in Kiev?
Yes, when you tell me, if you're always telling me, then maybe it will be in a few weeks. But at the moment, of course, I'm proud, and I'm really love this group of players, and I see how hard they are working, and how hard the staff is working. We had 2 set play goals today. I know my assistants, and I'm sitting here, but I know how my staff is working hard to get all these details into the players' mind. I know sometimes we are really, you say, relentless to the players, and pushing them, come on, and this and this and this, and they always keep going, they're always listening, and then we all get the reward at the moment. So that makes me proud, because I know it's a lot of effort, and not from Oliver Glasner, and so from every single player, from every single one in the staff, and from every single one in the club, and that's why it works that well at the moment.
Thank you. Last one here.
Yeah. Oliver, you just mentioned the set pieces. Can I please ask you about the long throw-ins in particular, because there's been a lot of talk about long throw-ins. Why do you use them? Why do you think it's so difficult to defend? And what's your assessment on the long throw-ins in general?
We use them to score goals, so it's. When we were talking about it, I think there is one reason that makes it a little bit easier is there's no offside. Yeah, whereas in free kicks you have offside, so you can move everywhere. That means also the defense has to drop quite deep. You see that, for example, when it's a free kick from the edge of the box, they hold the high line and you can't be there. Whereas when there is a throw-in, you can move everywhere in the box. Yeah? That means they have to defend a bigger space. Maybe that's a reason, but on the other side we have to defend this as well. It's a good set play tool to score goals. On the other side, you always have to be aware that you don't concede.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
次は解説です。今回も難しいボキャブラリーがほとんどありませんでしたので、簡単なものが多いですが、日常使いできるものが多いと思いますので、本日の解説をチェックしてみましょう。
You always know they can strike back.
ストライクバックは直訳すると打ち返すですが、実際には反撃するややり返すという意味でイディオム的に使われます。スポーツでは失点後に攻め返す。ビジネスや日常会話では批判に対して言い返すといった場面で使われます。バックという語は元に戻すや逆方向にというイメージがあるため、攻撃を相手に返すというイメージにつながります。映画やドラマのセリフでも品質で、特にアクションシーンやスポーツ解説ではよく耳にします。トイックなどの試験で直接出ることは少ないですが、ニュース記事やリスニングで出てくる可能性があります。
You always know they can strike back. You always know they can strike back.
Can you kind of reflect on what's gone into that?
リフレクト音は何かを映し出すという基本のリフレクトから派生し、自分の内側に映して考えるや振り返るという意味で使われます。日常会話でもフォーマルな文脈でもよく登場し、自己分析や反省の場面で非常に自然な表現です。例えば、 試験後に自分の勉強方法を振り返るや、会議の後に改善点を考えるといった場面にぴったりです。似た表現にはシンクアバウトがありますが、リフレクトオンはより深く、真剣に考えるニュアンスがあります。ビジネス英語やアカデミックな文脈で品質するため、覚えておくとトイックの長文や会議英語に強くなります。
You kind of reflect on what's gone into that. Can you kind of reflect on what's gone into that?
It should look after my heart, you know.
ルックアフターは、とても日常的なフレーズで、世話をするや面倒を見るという意味です。イギリス英語でよく使われ、アメリカ英語ではテイクケアオブが同じ意味でよく使われます。違いとしては、ルックアフターは、一時的に責任を持つや、ある期間、きちんと見守るといったニュアンスがあります。例えば、子供を預かるや、旅行中に植物に水をあげるなどの場面でよく使われます。また、人だけでなく、荷物、お金、ビジネス、など対象が広いのも特徴で、日常会話、ビジネス、旅行先など幅広く役立つので、最初に覚えておきたいイディオムの一つです。
It should look after my heart. It should look after my heart, you know.
One or would have probably camps in the heart.
キャンプは、基本的にキャンプをするや、野営するという意味の動詞と名詞の形です。比喩的に使われると、ある場所に長く居座るや、動かずに留まるというニュアンスになります。例えばサッカーの解説で、自陣に引きこもった、つまり、守備的になったというような場面で使います。キャンプを張る、イコール、そこに滞在し続けるというイメージを持つと理解しやすいです。スポーツ解説、ニュース記事、日常会話でも比喩的に応用される便利な単語です。
One or would have probably camps in the heart. One or would have probably camps in the heart. Then just try to see the game out.
シーアウトは、直訳すると、外まで見るですが、実際には、最後までやり抜く、や、持ちこたえるという意味になります。サッカーやスポーツの解説では、試合を最後まで守りきるという場面で品質します。例えば、1点リードを守って試合終了まで持ちこたえるといった状況です。一方、日常会話やビジネスでは、契約を最後までやり遂げるや、会議を最後まで参加するなどの意味でも使えます。似た表現にゲットスルーやフィニッシュオフがありますが、シーアウトは、終わりまで責任を持って続けるニュアンスが強いです。スポーツ英語だけでなく、仕事や生活の場面でも応用できる便利な表現です。実際に使えると、やりきる、最後まで続けるというニュアンスを自然に表現できるようになります。
Then just try to see the game out. Then just try to see the game out.
Because it's one of my credos in my life.
クリドは、普段の日常会話ではあまり耳にしませんが、ビジネスやフォーマルな文章でよく使われる単語です。意味は、信条、理念、信念で、個人や企業、団体の大ごとにしている考え方を表します。例えば、私の信条は誠実さですや、会社の理念は顧客第一ですといった場面で使います。宗教的なニュアンスから派生していますが、現在では一般的に人生や仕事で大切にしている考え方という意味合いが中心です。似た言葉にビリーフやプリンシプルがありますが、クリドの方がより格調高い、フォーマルな響きがあります。ニュース記事や社長のスピーチ、自己啓発本などで見かけることが多いです。知っていると語彙力が豊かになり、英語の文章をより深く理解できます。トイックやビジネス英語で遭遇する可能性もあるため、覚えておいて損はありません。
Because it's one of my credos in my life. Because it's one of my credos in my life.
いかがでしたか？またこれからパレスファンの反応についても動画を作成したいと思っていますが、どのパレスファンも鎌田大地のパフォーマンスを絶賛しています。チームとしての戦い方も、特に前半は本当に何点入ってもおかしくなかったような前半で、これまでで最も素晴らしい45分だったとも形容されています。プレスカンファレンスでのグラスナーも、喜びが前面に出ている一方で、謙虚さを忘れないという戒めも表現しつつ、チーム全体のパフォーマンスを称賛し、鎌田大地についても満足しているようでしたね。ロングスローの考え方や、ただ守備的な戦術をしているわけではないという考え方も、改めて知ることができ、興味深いものでした。また、これからファンの反応を上げていきたいと思いますので、お楽しみください。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。